Yo, what's up guys? I will show you the top 5 best solo ways to make millions in GTA Online. We will start with the clocking bell farm rate. What already makes it great is that there are no requirements to start it. Even if you're level 1 you can start it. First go to the V on your map. You can press square X on it if you want to get a call from Vincent and listen to what he has to say. I highly recommend using the Vigilante, so this vehicle, because it will make all the setups a lot easier. We will use this one because in the mission you can't use vehicles like an Oppressor or the Luxo. So now go to the yellow circle and start it. There are 5 setups that you have to complete and then you can start the finale. The best thing about this money making method is that you don't have to invest any money. You don't get any money for these setups, but you will make a lot in the finale. Also a tip to complete the setups faster is to set your spawn location to a property close to the V on the map. I spawned in my office, but this is the best one to use, an agency. This saves you a lot of time. So I completed all the setups and now I can start the finale. There are 2 different ways you can complete this. You can do it stealthily or go all in. You decide that when doing the setup where you choose your weapons and equipment. So this also has good replayability because you can do it in different ways. I completed all the setups plus the finale within an hour. You will receive $500,000 for this. For an hour time, that's great money. If it's your first time completing the clocking bell farm rate, you will get another $250,000. The only downside with this method is that there's a 1 hour cooldown before you can start it again. The next money making method is the CEO special cargo business. The way it works is you have a cargo crate warehouse. Once you have that, you are then able to do source missions where you either steal 1, 2 or 3 crates. You bring them back to the warehouse and then you can sell them on for a profit. In order to run the business you will need a CEO office and of course get a separate warehouse. You can own up to 3 warehouses and there's 3 different sizes that you can purchase. Small, medium and large. Depending on the size it will dictate how many crates you can hold in each and of course the price per warehouse will increase the bigger it is. Now to make the most amount of money with the business you will want to always source 3 crates at a time. Sometimes it will give you 2 vehicles, sometimes you have to pick up all 3 individually, but that's the most efficient way to do it. Now when it comes to selling the crates, depending on how many crates you are selling at a time will dictate how many sell vehicles you have, but as a solo player you are able to complete a sell mission with 3 vehicles. I always suggest selling your cargo warehouse when it's completely full, because when your warehouse is full you will receive the most amount of money per cargo crate versus if you were to sell less crates. Now if you run the business really efficiently and you do the source missions quickly, you can make a few $100,000 per hour. Next up we have the Asset Lab. The way the business works is you either steal or purchase supplies. You bring them back to the lab and then after some time those supplies are turned into product, which you could then sell on for a profit. In order to purchase the Asset Lab you have to first do the first dose mission storyline, there's 6 in total. Once you have done that you can then purchase the business for $750,000. Now in order to make the most amount of money with the business you have to get the equipment upgraded for $250,000, but first you have to unlock it. The way to do that is by completing 10 fully gun missions. You can start them if you go to Dex inside the Freak Shop or call him and select a fully gun mission. Once you have done that, you can then call up Mods or talk to him at the Asset Lab. Purchase supplies for $60,000 and after 1.6 batches of supplies you have a fully stocked Asset Lab, which you could then sell on for $335,000. If you decide to do that, you will be making about $60,000 to $70,000 per hour in profit, but if you want to make some extra money you can sell in a public lobby. If it's a session with 25 or more players, that will give you a 50% high demand bonus. I believe that every player gives a 2% bonus and it's capped at 50%, which means that the highest bonus is in a 25 players public lobby. To get an extra 5% bonus, rename your Asset Lab. You can do that through your interaction menu. That will bring it up to $500,000 as your final sale, and this is completely doable because you're only ever guaranteed 1 sell vehicle. If you choose to go that route you will be making about $100,000 per hour. That's the way I suggest to do it and that's the reason why it's in the number 7 spot. It's a fairly passive business and it earns you about $100,000 per hour, which is really good. Next we have the Nightclub, which is the best passive income business in the game. If you want to see a full in-depth guide on this business to make the most amount of money, click the card in the top right. But in this video I will summarize this business. There's two ways to make money with it, with the first one being through the Nightclub wall save. This is a save that has a set amount of money deposited into it every in-game day or 48 minutes IRL, depending on how popular your nightclub is. There are a few different ways to increase the popularity of the nightclub, but the two best are to throw out disturbances in the nightclub, which will pop up as a blue dot on your minimap, or to change DJs. When you change the DJ of your nightclub, your popularity will increase. The second way to make money is a little bit more complicated, but it's the bread and butter of the business, and that is through the warehouse. The warehouse is a section where you are able to hire and assign technicians to source product. When they source that product, it will then build up in a warehouse, and whenever you want, you can sell that product for a profit. Now, in order to make the most amount of money with it, you will want to of course hire all 5 technicians, which will cost a decent amount of money, and you will want to assign them to 5 specific type of products. But there's one catch for the warehouse, and that is if you want to assign a technician to source a specific kind of product, you will have to own a corresponding business in the game. So with that being said, here are the 5 types of products that make you the most amount of money and a corresponding business you will need to own. First, assign a technician to cargo and shipments. You will need a CEO hangar or a CEO cargo crate warehouse in order to do so. Next, assign one to sporting goods, which you will need a bunker for. Third is South American imports, which you will need a Coca-Cola lockup. Fourth being pharmaceutical research, which we will need a blue stuff lab for. And fifth is cash creation, which you will need a counterfeit cash factory for. If you assign a technician to each one of those products and make sure that you have the equipment upgrades, you will earn about $50,000 total in warehouse stock each hour. Now, the best part of the warehouse is that once you have done that and set it up, you don't have to do anything else except for the final sell mission whenever you decide to sell. All you have to do once you assign those technicians to those products is to just be in a session. So if you combine those two sections of the nightclub, you will be making $100,000 in almost completely passive income every single hour, which is the main reason why it's number 5 on the list. But the only reason why it's not higher is because in order to run the warehouse side of the business, you will need to own 5 other separate businesses, which will end up costing you close to the $10 million. With that being said, the best way to make money as a solo player is the Cayo Perico heist. Now, of course, you will need to first have a Kasatka, so the submarine, to access it, but once you have done that, you can then start up the heist. What the heist is in essence is you're sneaking onto a private island, taking loot from all around it before going to a central compound where you have to take a very valuable primary target. There's a ton of different ways you can approach it, and it's a lot of fun. I didn't do it sneaky at all, I just went in shooting and hoped for the best. But the most important part of it is of course the payout. You're making anywhere between 1.3 to 1.6 or 1.7 million dollars for each time that you do it. These are the best primary targets you can get. I was pretty lucky and got the pink diamond. That's actually the best one you can get all year. That's because the Panther statue is not available all year, it's a limited time primary target. You will get more money if you complete hard mode. To do the Cayo Perico heist in hard mode, you need to set the heist up within 48 minutes in real time after receiving the message from Pavel. Doing so will automatically transition the heist from normal mode to hard mode. If you also complete the elite challenge, you will get another $100,000. To complete the elite challenge, you have to do the following. Complete the finale in under 15 minutes, 0 hacks failed, full loot bags, nobody gets wasted, and do not be detected while inside the compound. For players who have done the heist a lot, it should only take about 45 to 55 minutes to complete, but for first timers it could take up to an hour and a half. Either way, you're still making tons of money for the amount of time you have put in, and that's why it's number 1 on the list. I hope this list helped you out. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye bye!